I was looking for a job when I got out of the Navy, and they sent me to interview with TD Industries. Talked to Lamar Griffin, he sent me down to Billy Edwards. And Billy Edwards' boss' name was Art Durbin. Found it interesting because it wasn't the same thing every day. It was different challenges on a daily basis. Started out as a air conditioning installation helper in the service group. I came to TD, there were 144 people, I believe, 146. It had pretty good mechanical aptitude, wound up being an air conditioning service guy. Ran service for 13 years. And after that, Tom Creed was at, we had moved off of Nagel Street up to Stemmons. It was at lunch in the break room. Tom Creed was in there and wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing startup for then it was TD Mechanical. And I kind of chickened out on him, and a few weeks later he called me back and he said, "You're just a coward to try it, aren't you?" Well, that didn't work so good, so I tried it. And that was 81, I think. I had the pleasure of knowing Jack Sr., phenomenal individual. And the family atmosphere, the way that the company and the leadership cared about the employees, made it a very comfortable place to be, a very happy place to be. You know, not saying that you didn't get corrected when you did something wrong, but Mr. Lowe's attitude and his demeanor, you could go into a spirited discussion with him and get real spirited about the issue, but you never left that meeting feeling like you were not a whole person. He left you feeling okay about yourself. He dealt with the problem, not the individual. He didn't belittle the individual, he only dealt with problems. Another one was Jim Reed with the engineered air balance. Probably those two guys were the best listeners I've ever dealt with in my life, and I've learned a lot from them. Jim Reed would make you repeat to him what you wanted done until he could repeat it back and understand it. So he, again, treated your opinion with respect, as did Mr. Lowe, and most of the leadership of our company has done that. You can be wrong, but they still respect your opinion. And part of what I learned from that is there's a reason God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to listen more than you talk. Observe and listen, and you'll learn a lot more than you will if you try to talk your way through it. That's one of the things that the early on side of the company, Mr. Lowe was more about people than profit. So as long as we did okay, that was okay, and he pretty much let people grow and understand. And then later on, Jack Jr. kind of directed it towards profit and taught his dad that you can do a lot more for people if you're making money. Ballpark in Arlington, I probably did some growing on that, learned that there's price to be paid for when you open your mouth. Steve Dunn, engineer that designed the air conditioning system. And when we got to looking at it, he missed his design by about 25%. So in a meeting, I made a statement that I'd buy him a steak dinner if it worked. And I kind of had to go back and apologize for that. So it was a lesson learned, though, where it's much better to, when you're dealing with people and trying to educate people, it's much better to say, help me understand where you're trying to go with that. I don't get it, help me understand. And then you let them lead you to where they think they're going. And 90% of the time, if there's an issue, you help lead them to their issue and let them discover it, and you both can leave there feeling good about yourself and you don't beat anybody up. Trust, to me, is when I can go to a partner and correct an action, and you have built enough relationship with that partner that they understand you're there to help them, not belittle them. I was very hostile with the engineering community because I'm not formally educated. and it took me a long time to figure out how to talk to them. But after I developed that, I quit being their adversary, and now several engineering firms call me for references. And that was a trust by, again, having them help you understand what their thought process is, how are they trying to get there. And I think that works with our partner. Why are you doing that way? Why? What's your motive? Where are you trying to go? And why will that work? A great project manager is one that is detail-oriented, understands what they don't know, and I wished our culture could get to the point that it's okay to not know, because the construction industry is sometimes views that as a weakness. And in today's world, with the technology that we have now and the type of equipment that's coming out, you can't know everything. You're going to have to rely on other people. And the good project managers understand that. They put the team in place and guide the team. They're more of an orchestrator than a doer. It's empowering the right people and putting them in the right place, and document everything. The superintendent needs to know the basics of all the systems. And if he doesn't know them, he needs to have someone with him that does, so they can find the shortfalls, do it correctly the first time, and to get people that want to do it the right way, not the way we've always done it, or to understand that what we do today or what we did 20 years ago, principles apply, but the application does not apply anymore, and you've got to change that because our world's changing, our technology's changing. Hopes for TD that we can maintain the good place to work. And to maintain that, we have to maintain respect for each other. We have to maintain the ability to listen, correct, weed out what doesn't belong, grow what does belong. And hopefully we can be smart enough to know the difference in that. And one of the things that TD Industries has a relationship of doing is we do take care of our issues. If we do it wrong, we will fix it. We will take care of it. Now, we just need to get better at doing it right the first time so we don't have to go back and correct it.